I don't see acceptance. That's not... Look, if you see me making that face, I'm not accepting anything. Let's play Thorner, the demo. Hello and welcome to all a new play short indie horror games or demos. Today I'm going to show you first impressions of the demo of Thorner, which is the new game by Snoring Dog Games, who did the Flayed Man, which I absolutely loved. It was so gory, it was luscious in its... It was kind of retro, but in a really cool way, and it still had a modern touch. And yeah, they're about to release a new game. Thorner is a horror visual novel with multiple endings. You attempt to escape your past by fleeing to the wilderness, but spilled blood can never be forgiven. The land knows what you did. The land judges. Thorner awaits. So The Flayed Man was amazing because visually really, really beautiful, but also just story-wise very cool. And it really was, you know, hardcore, like bloody, gory, nothing subtle about it. And to be quite honest, now and then I really like... I would call it pulp, but without, you know, meaning it in a negative way, but in a positive way, that it goes all out, you know, it gives us everything. And yeah, Thorner looks very much like that. I was very happy the devs sent me a preview for the demo, so I was able to record this before the actual publication of the demo, which I'm doing right now. Oh, very beautiful. Okay, we all know... Beautiful music, whoever did it, fantastic job, but we all know music and sound usually is way too loud and drowns out the voices. That's just, for some reason, a weird thing that happens. Look at this. I mean, yeah, their visuals are really absolutely fantastic. This is beautiful. I know it's basically a skin mask of a face, including body hair, but I think it's beautiful, you know. Plagued by the horrors infesting your mind, you fled to the wilderness. I hope I'm recording properly. You never know. Also, there's something weird in Microsoft going on. Oh, I click. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I'm not used to that. You found serenity in nature, comforted by the belief you were truly alone. You were wrong. Oh god, no, yeah, that's my sentiment. That's awful. That would ruin my day. Oh, it would. What is this? How did this happen? It's been slaughtered and I'm going to be next. The blood is congealed. I'm losing control. I need to breathe. I take the cold air into my lungs, clearing the cloud of anxiety fogging my mind. That would... No, I take these things with me for very long, so this would haunt me for at least a week. Why couldn't I have just ignored it? The decay. For days I've been able to smell it on the wind. Curiosity got the better of me. It's not unusual in the wild. Normally it's a badger or a fox which lost a fight for territory. But never like this. Yeah, this is kind of extreme. Stags are huge, powerful creatures made of muscle and sinew. This is Britain. Bears went extinct 1,000 years ago. The carcass has not been devoured. It was not killed for food. There's nothing left which could do this, or want to. This was an act of annihilation, driven by pure rage. The only true remnant of the stag is its glassy eye that stares right at me. In it, I can see... No, I don't see hatred. I see terror. I don't see acceptance. That's not... Look, if you see me making that face, I'm not accepting anything. I'm full of terror. The stag was petrified. It didn't understand what was happening or why. All it knew was it wanted to live. At least it doesn't have to suffer. We don't know. This doesn't really look like it was super cool and nice, you know. The acts I've done to survive have stripped away my soul, leaving only emptiness. I'm a pathetic husk of a man. Did he kill it? A fat, ugly, unlovable waste of space. Oh, come on now. No, stop it. Stop spiraling. Yeah, it doesn't help. I know. I should get back to camp and put it out of my mind. Oh, there he is. Oh, with a little book. Cool boots. I struggled to get the fire going. My nerves were shot. Like, look at this. The way the fire goes, that's just so pretty. Oh. This is the highlight of my day. Partaking in the simple yet wondrous alchemy of firecraft. Man, he's a bit of a handful, isn't he? Until I came to Coil Dube. Probably pronouncing it incorrectly, I'm so sorry. I really hadn't appreciated how miraculous it is. The forest provides the dry leaves and fallen branches whilst I source the quartz and pyrite from the riverside. Combining these elements with the air in my lungs, I create the blaze of the red flower. Oh! The crackle is the only man-made sound in the vast woodland. There are no flight paths, no roads. Instead, the forest is alive with a natural symphony. Rustling leaves, clattering antlers, small creatures traversing the undergrowth. I stare into the flickering flames and the gay inharmony absorbs me. I am made one with the breath of life which runs through all things, but not tonight. What I encountered today disquieted me. I can see the ribs cracked open, exposing the still heart they once caged, surrounded by thick clots of dried blood and meshed on blades of grass. The horrible thing about this kind of stuff is that you smell it, and you can remember some smells. I mean, not, but yeah, you still have like kind of a weird abstract memory of certain smells. So, I'm going to read my book. I need something to take my mind off today. What are you reading? It's certainly a strange feeling selecting what you know will be your final book. It was my last decision before starting my journey. What is it? I chose Collected Works of Poe. Oh, only those who have... Oh, I could probably skip that. Did that happen with the hatred, terror? Only those who have walked in darkness can know the limitless depths of anger. Poe is one of them. Really? Was he angry? Was he angry? I don't know. I thought he was more melancholy. The heart of the matter. One lapse in judgment, one mistake, and you slide downwards without any way to stop. Green captures the descent unlike any other. Crime and punishment. With enough justification, you can do anything. How can you turn back from the irredeemable? Dostoevsky explores the impossible path to do so. I read a lot of Poe. I don't think I've ever read this. And I want to read Crime and Punishment, but I honestly, for the last, I would Collected Works, because it's also, you have different stories, short stories, not just one novel, so if you're fed up with the characters or the way the story goes, you can just choose something else. And you have some poems in there. Yeah, let's go with Poe. I first read Poe when I was a little boy. I liked his gothic storytelling, although truth be told, I didn't understand it at the time. I do now. My favorite is The Mask of the Red Death. All those fancy bastards thinking they're special, not giving a damn about the plebs dying en masse. If they'd ever actually lived in the real world, they'd have known there's no escape. Through Poe's words, I become the spectral image. I am the Red Death. Jesus, calm down, dude. The forest is alive with the screams of the nobility. I hold my illimitable dominion over all and relish in their suffering. Wait, what? Let me check on my Oxford Dictionary app. Without limits or an end. Oh. From limitable. Oh, that's disappointing. I thought it would be, like, a cooler... Well, okay. I hear his screams. Oh. Not laughing now, are you? I didn't laugh before. I mean, occasionally, but you ruined my life? Oh. Does he talk to this victim? I'm drenched in sweat and my jaws clenched tight as I burn with rage. I must calm down. I don't have to fight anymore. I should put the anger behind me and let it go once and for all. Yeah, he's a very angry person, isn't he? As the adrenaline wears off, I realize I'm completely exhausted. I'm turning in for the night. I mean, it's easy to be angry nowadays, you know. My head is full of thorns. Oh. And this also looks a little bit like a brain, right? Ooh, is that a little monster? Oh. I awoke this morning with my muscles seized tight, as if a lightning bolt struck me during the night. It took a while for my body to loosen up, and when it did, my bones were riddled with a deep ache. What is happening to me? Normally, my mornings are filled with joyous anticipation of the simple wonders Coil Dube holds. This is so beautiful. Oh my god. I love those visuals. Instead, I left my camp as soon as I could and decided to walk until I got rid of this strange feeling of dread. A few hours later, it dawned on me how quiet the woods are. Aside from the wind, there's no sound at all. A forest should never be silent. Yeah, actually, yeah. I know what I'll do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I don't know. I had... Oh! The smiling... Aunt? Uni? Is that the abstract monster version of the guy he killed? Because that was also a blonde dude. I'll say it again slowly, fuckwit, so you get it right this time. Get me a coffee with milk and 2 sugars. Yeah, that's probably... What are you waiting for? Walking to the mess, I feel like spilled red paint spreading over a white carpet. Stupid bastard, stupid bastard. Man, he's pretty much like... What was the name of the guy from American Psycho? It's a coffee with 3 sugars. Coward, 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 coward. No, that's too many. Maybe it was 1? I'm holding a spoon and a mug. I put in... Let's go with 2. You know, the good middle. I'm staring at the yellow wall outside of the officer's mess. Get me out of here. God, get me out of here. I must knock. When I do, a dozen eyes will glance at me and a single thought will be shared. He's the oxygen thief who can't do anything right, the utter waste of space. Knock, I'm leaving it too late. I couldn't even click on it. What the fuck are you doing? If I tell you to do something, do it immediately. On this submarine, I am your god. So his former boss? He takes a sip. He spits the coffee into my face. The brown, sticky liquid burns as it runs down onto my neck and chest. I'm shaking and I can feel tears welling behind my eyes. Don't cry, I'm a man for God's sake. He spat on me. I'm a grown man and he fucking spat on me. Why did you put sugar in this AB, Sneed? Learn to listen, you useless trot. I said no sugar. Did I? Did he? Ooh. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Nothing. Hello, is anybody in there? He raps my head with his knuckles and laughs, gazing into my eyes all the while. Without a single word, I know what he's really saying. Do something, I dare you, coward. I decide to... report him. I cry. Honestly, yes, but probably also report him. If someone spits on me, dude, you get reported. I turn on my heels and head to the CO's office. Behind me, I can hear him calling out. I pay him no mind. The CO takes one look at me and knows something unacceptable has happened. I tell him everything, the months of mental torture I've been through. He tells me this is the 21st century, such behavior has no place in the Navy. He resolves the issue quickly, and as soon as we reach dock, my tormentor is removed. When we get back underway, for the first time in a long time, I smile. I can finally do the job I was trained to do. In reality, I did nothing. Oh, come on! The Navy would never go against an officer. Yeah, that's probably true. Enlisted men are just toys for officers to play with. We don't matter. That's why you don't go into the police or the military. Look, their hierarchies are just fucked up. It's similarly bad in companies, but there sometimes you can have chances to report someone and they actually face consequences. But military and police, that's just... I'm not saying it's cultish, but they have this weird hierarchy and need to stick together. So people who call out absolutely horrid criminal behavior from colleagues, they usually get removed. So yeah, it's not the best workplace, I'd say. Make me another one. Yes, sir. I say it again slowly, fuckwit, so you get it right this time. Get me a coffee with milk and 2 sugars. Hey! He lied to us. God help me, I'm lost. I'm going in circles and circles. We gave him with 2 sugars. What a fuckwit. My hips are as stiff as a Titan screw and my feet raw with blisters. The sun has set and I don't know where I am. I'm completely turned around. I had... Oh, it doesn't matter, right? North. 3's mud, it's all the same. I know these woods like the back of my hand. Why am I so confused? Him. Even now with hundreds of miles between us, he clings to me like a parasite. Concentrate, I must go. Northeast? Who am I kidding? I'm not an outdoors man. Who is? Really? I've been online dating, and apparently everyone except me. I've only ever been a few miles from my campsite. I'm completely out of my depth. I could be 30 miles away from camp and heading further away. I'm desperate. I'm not above begging for help. I call out to... But I would call out to... Not to God. Why would I call out to the... Hey, Forrest! How you doing? Nobody. I'm completely alone. I would be fooling myself to think anything otherwise. I would talk to myself, but I wouldn't call out to someone because there's no one. If I perish here, I will probably never be found. Is continuance really better? The dead have no notion of death. The sorrow would be lifted from me forever. I would be free. I keep walking, resisting the overwhelming urge to stop. I've never experienced darkness like in Koildu. If it wasn't for my flashlight, I wouldn't even be able to see my hands. I continue forward. I have no other choice. Wait, I want to see how it's pronounced. I'm sorry, I will cut out whatever if it takes me long to look it up. It's Irish, meaning Blackwood. I used to be really able to read the, phonetic But I'm not quite sure if I can still do it. Kyle do. That's how I would pronounce it. All right. So we continue forward. An uncanny feeling comes over me. Every nerve in my body tells me I'm in grave danger. I stop, turn off the flashlight, and listen. Something large cracks branches underfoot as it moves forward, accompanied by a faint buzz of flies. I hear it in every direction. I hear it in no direction. This is the stag's defiler. Oh, that was the one in front of my tent, my brain tent. Suddenly it stops as if it has spotted something of interest. Me. I hold my breath and don't make a sound. It feels like an eternity until I hear it restart its journey. I don't dare turn on the flashlight until it has long passed. I'm clicking, but... Oh... My heart is beating so fast it feels like it's going to burst out of my chest. That's a really nice Look, it moves a little bit. That's cool. This is so pretty. Oh my god. I love this kind of... It's so gorgeous. I mean... And you know what I mean? It's very old school, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't feel old. It's just old school in the way that it looks really hand-drawn. I'm not even quite sure if it is hand-drawn, but it's so lovingly made. Ugh. Can't stop my hands from shaking. What was that thing? This was supposed to be a place of peace, my oasis of calm. I will never find such a sanctuary, not in this life. In the distance, I hear the faint sound of running water. The river, I will go to it. If he was in the military, did he commit war crimes? Ugh. I sound like, oh, not again. All my life I've been a bystander watching events happen to me, expecting something to change, but it never does. Yeah, you need to... Sometimes you need to take action. It just is what it is. I know myself that sometimes you can just, you know, float on, but now and then you really need to do something actively. Is this blood? I am the common denominator. No matter where I go, it will always be the same. Obviously, that's why you need to work on yourself, and you need to be able to live with yourself. Like, I don't know. I think quite a lot of people, they do those big world journeys, you know, travel the world, etc. And I think a lot of them, they want to, you know, discover new cultures, meet people, but I think also quite a few people want to kind of escape something because they don't realize they can't escape themselves, you know, they will still be there, so they can't really escape it. I will never be long. I should let the waters wash me away and be done with it. God, I should put a trigger warning for suicidal thoughts in the top of the game. Forward, you coward, forward. Wait, blood? Yeah, I said that. No, you. I'm sorry. 1 out of 3 endings completed. Oh. I will not test out the other endings because actually this video is for others to not only download the demo but also wishlist the game, and I think it will be very interesting for others to see what other endings are out there. Also, I don't have time. I want to make dinner. I love this. I think it's... I mean, visually, I love it. I think the writing is very good. I don't like the protagonist, but I'm not quite sure I'm supposed to like the protagonist. I hope not, because I do not. So if I'm supposed to like the protagonist, I'm sorry, I don't. But I like very complicated protagonists. You know, I don't have to like a protagonist. It just has to be someone who's believable as a person. And I think that he is believable in this wallowing of self-pity and this intense, nearly annoying self-hatred. Look, I've had my moments as well. I think I've come to a point in my life where I still regret a lot of things, you know. Sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of myself, but I will never again dive that headfirst into self-hatred with such a passion and longevity, because it really makes not just you miserable, but usually everyone around you. And I know, look, this is not to say, you know, stop it, because sometimes you can't. Like, it's a very difficult thing to get rid of. Sometimes you need therapy, sometimes you need, I don't know, something else, godly intervention or whatever. Deus ex machina, you know. But yeah, it's that's why it's kind of annoying to me, but in a good way, in a way that I think it's a compelling character, because we obviously know he was in the military, you know, he had been abused by his superior something shitty happened in a military situation. We can all, I think, agree that this will happen. The interesting thing is also the place where he is that really where he is, or is it limbo? Is it hell? Is this kind of an in-between, where he is, that the monster is not in reality, but rather in this hell place where he's stuck, And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the full game. I'm not quite sure if I will play the full. It depends on how long it is. Look, I've just played 1,000 hours of Scarlet Hollow. I think it wasn't even that long. I think it was 14 hours, but it took me 6 months. With some short breaks. And the next game I will play will have full voiceover audio, so I don't have to read a lot. I want to take a break from it, from reading. But yeah, I will put the link to the Steam page for Thorner into the video description alongside with the link to the Flayed Man, because that is, if I remember correctly, a free game. It is amazing. So if you want to just check it out, see what you can expect with Thorner, then I really recommend that. You can also watch my Let's Play of it. I will probably put it, somewhere around here. I don't know where it will actually then end up on the video. And that's that. Oh, yeah, my question to you. What would you have done with the guy with the shitty superior? Would you have reported him, said nothing, or hit him? Personally, and I thought a lot about this because we're now in a very, I'm getting political now, the trigger warning, in this world currently. And I'm not saying this is shocking or this is new. We've always been in a shitty world, in a shitty situation, but I still have the feeling that after a very short phase where I felt like, oh, we're kind of progressing, I now feel like, oh, we're not progressing anymore. We're kind of having a little bit of a backlash to the little bit of progress we had. And now it's getting very scary, with a lot of, you can't even just say right wing. It's outright fascist, racist, Nazi politics, parties gaining traction in a lot of countries across the world. It's a very delicate situation right now when it comes to wars. I feel like we're very much on the brink of a third world war where we have climate change, but, politicians and the economy, they're kind of, they're acknowledging it, but they're not doing anything about it. And then they say, well, but you can't use plastic straws, so it's up to us, but we can't change a lot because we're not the ones who cause it. So that being said, to put that into context, being angry, being full of rage, I think is a very normal reaction right now. And I also think in anti-fascist circles, when people have very extreme opinions about kicking Nazis' butts, I personally am not a violent person, but who am I to judge? That's all I'm going to say about this for now. So I get when some people would react with hitting someone who has been absolutely out of line, and I think spitting into someone's face is one of the most degrading things you can do. It is abuse. It's not just disgusting, it lacks so much respect. Like it's treating someone like dirt, because that's what you do. You spit on the floor when you think something is less. And to spit on a person is really so low that I can't fault anyone for hitting that person. There was a lot of, political thoughts about this small thing that I could have said without that. But I'll leave those political thoughts in because, well, first of all, they're not that detailed. They're, vague enough that I think I can get through with it. But yeah, so I understand it. So, don't be scared of saying, you would have hit him, because, man, I wouldn't, but I'm not judging, because I think in these kind of occasions and these kind of people, like, this is not a guy who was brought to the brink of his sanity and then spit at someone out of sheer desperation. That was someone who spits on someone to show them their place. And those people, sometimes they need to be shown their place equally. I'm more the person that tries to do the whole reporting thing because for some reason a part of me still believes that you can do something with reporting, with talking about it, with sharing. I'm not quite sure it holds true. I think especially in the military and in the police force, etc., it can be very difficult. I think even in a lot of companies, it can be very difficult. It always depends on how close-knit, everything is, how much HR really is on the side of the company, or whether you really have people in HR that take their role seriously. But yeah. So I definitely would have chosen reporting, which I did in the game, but I want to know what you would have done. Nothing, because you're like, well, whatever I do, just get me anything. Or hit him in the face, straight up, or kicked him in the nuts or whatever. You can choose also. Or if you would have reported them. So feel free to share. And click on wishlist the game, even if you don't want to get it. Wishlisting, short explainer for everyone who doesn't know, but Steam counts wishlists as interest, and then when the game is published and has is on a lot of people's wish lists, it gets more reach, it gets a bigger audience, it gets shown to more people, suggested to more people. So if you want to support small developers and their projects, even if maybe a particular game of theirs is not to your fancy, wishlisting is always a good help for them, because it really helps basically the algorithm and to tell Steam that this is a desired game, so Steam doesn't bury it. Have a nice day, and see you next time. Bye! This is my self-recorded outro song so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.